As we enter a whole new day in trade, let's take a look at how the global cues are panning out. Let's remember right now as we speak, the US election is underway. There's been a lot of movement. There's been a lot of close race in a lot of key states. And very soon we're going to have conclusive outcomes as to exactly where each president stands with respect to electoral votes. Now, in the meanwhile, what the markets have been doing is the Dow has surged by more than 500 points yesterday. That's up 2.1%. The S&P gained almost 2%, 1.8. The Nasdaq gained 1.9. Dow Futures at one point, after this massive market move we saw, which all three benchmarks rallied, was up another 200 points, as were S&P and Nasdaq Futures. Now what's happened is the odds have tilted slightly in Trump's favor. Even betting agencies are offering much lower odds for a Trump payout right now. So what that basically means is if you were to place a bet on Trump 2 days ago, you would have been paid a much more if he won than you would today. So that means that there could be, a slight tilt in the vote, and you might see President Trump taking a lead. On the back of that, we've suddenly seen futures cool off. Dow futures were down 200 points. They've now recovered slightly and are down around 56 points. S&P 500 futures have dipped 0.1%, and Nasdaq futures have risen slightly. So from what you're judging by the futures, when we had information of the Biden lead and a Democratic sweep, which means Biden would win the presidency, the Democrats would have the Senate and control of the House, markets were really liking that. Now as the votes are being counted in, and it seems that it's not going to be such a landslide victory for Biden, if at all, the futures seem to be cooling off. So that's very interesting. In Japan and in Asia, the Nikkei is up 1%, the Topix is up 0.75%, the Kospi in South Korea is up 0.67%, the Australian S&P ASX 200 is shedding 0.2%, the only region to really lose in Asia Pacific, and Alibaba stock is in focus because the ANT IPO in Shanghai and Hong Kong has now been suspended due to compliance shortfalls. Now, in Europe, yesterday, they were all anticipating a very positive outcome. So the Stoxx 600 ended up 2.3%. Banks jumped nearly 5% to lead the gains. But all your sectors yesterday were in positive territory. Two commodities that we always do a check on, oil and gold. Brent futures rose 84 cents or 2.2% to now just under $40 per barrel, so 39.81. WTI crude settled 85 cents or 2.3% higher at $37.66 per barrel. Coming to gold, spot gold rose 0.7% to $1,907 per ounce, and US gold futures settled up 0.9% at $1,910 per ounce. So one thing's for sure, oil's doing better. Gold is also doing better as uncertainty revolving around markets and election kind of increased over the last couple of days. So very interesting global cues. It'll be interesting to see how Nifty reacts. But based on what we've seen overnight, it should be a positive reaction. Let's keep our eyes and ears out for who is taking the lead in the US election.